Hi, I'm Matt Powell. I'm here at the tour department at Coolclubs, one of the master builders. I'm going to take you guys through a detailed process of how we build clubs. Very attention, detail oriented. We weight sort grips, shafts, heads, everything. If we don't have the right weighted shaft grip, 100%, we will make it correct. We've got a very extensive inventory in the back. Our build process here at Coolclubs, we work with the individual and fitter to make the best product possible for that. It's not pumping out clubs one after another. We really dial in the equipment for that individual golfer. From the start, once the golfer comes in, I'm working with the fitter, myself. It's not going through a bunch of different hands. Starting with me, it's gonna finish with me. So that product is gonna be the best equipment for that particular customer. Our software shows us exactly what frequency to build the equipment to. We can sort through shafts. If a customer wants their clubs just a little softer, we can soft step them, tip them a little less, actually tip them more too if somebody wants it a hair stiffer. There's so many details we can do in building the equipment to really dial in the exact frequency, swing weight. Thanks to this software, it gives us the correct tools to really dial in the equipment. For example, this current set I'm working on right now, customer loved his first original product. We have detailed notes. We can match that first set with multiple sets down the road, just with the information we store in our software. In fact, we're doing a second set, but he wants it a 1/4 inch shorter. So that being a little lighter in weight, 1/4 inch shorter, I've listed my head weights in there. I'm just gonna add a couple more grams, so it's gonna feel exactly the same, just being a hair shorter. And with our detailed software here, starting from building the clubs to finishing it, we have a QA process. Stormy and back, he double checks everything so it meets the exact specs that the fitter's requesting. The customer is essentially gonna want the finished product. So even if I make a mistake, rarely happens, but Stormy will make sure that it does not leave the building until it passes all the checklists. When I get a set, I first start with the fitter, overview the entire build, just to see if there's anything that stands out. Some questions, it's always questions, making sure that the product is exactly what the customer's gonna want in his hands, what he was fit for. So we'll look at the file, make sure everything looks great, and communication. Sometimes the fitter might have to reach out to the customer. Just one of the many steps in the build process that we go through to ensure that the customer's getting what they want. It's gonna feel good to them. Check off everything on that list that we have when we build the product. Once I check with the fitter, start weighing out the heads. Shafts will be next. Weight sorted lightest to heaviest. Lightest going in the longer heads, heaviest going in the shorter heads. We'll then start the testing process, making sure our frequencies are all in a line with the appropriate head weights if we need to add a little or subtract a little head. Once we get our head weights dialed in, shaft weights, we start testing the shafts, finding out the flow of the set, how the FMs are gonna react. Sometimes we'll see ascending FMs, starting a little softer and getting a little stiffer throughout the set. Other shafts, if we're tipping shafts, removing material from the tip, it's the opposite. We'll see descending FM. So that can be good or bad, but that's one of those other qualifying questions. When we work with the fitter, seeing if the fitter likes that for that customer. If they want that FM to get a little softer or a little stiffer, it can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on that individual golfer's needs. After we go through all of the shaft testing, tipping, soft stepping, hard stepping, then we'll start gluing up the product. All of our weights are aligned, we're happy with that. After we're done gluing up the product, we're happy with the build, then we move on to loft and lie. Always bend before you cut. If you bend a couple degrees upright, any more than that, that can actually make the club a little shorter. Same with bending it flat. It can lengthen the club. So before you do your final cuts, always do your loft and lie checks. So once we finish bending the equipment, then we'll actually cut it to the desired length and then we'll finish it off with gripping, and then final swing weight tests, turning the ferrules, cleaning the clubs, putting shaft bands on. Then that's when the product goes to Stormy and QA just to make sure everything meets the customer's expectations. Once we grip the clubs, we record all of that final information in the system. That way, if a customer loses a club, breaks a club, it's stored in the system indefinitely. So that club can be duplicated exactly the same way he had it in his hands once they liked it. That's why we are master club builders, not master assemblers.
Coming to Coolclubs, I mean, we can fit you for putter, we can fit your driver, we can fit you indoor, we can fit you outdoor. We're really going to give you the best club fitting experience, period. So head to a Coolclubs near you or check out coolclubs.com to book your fitting today.